it's Alexandria Gamoni and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here and I'm so happy we're going to do some glam together. This is a look that we are going to be doing together, step by step, showing you all the products that I use. And I'm doing this video because I feel like when we go on social media, we see a lot of videos on like how to do makeup, but they're all from like pro makeup artists or just people who are insanely good at makeup, and it's really hard to follow. Like whenever I try to follow their steps, my makeup never comes out looking the exact same. So this is for my girlies who want a beautiful makeup look that's not too complicated and something that you can actually replicate, because I'm not a makeup artist. I don't claim to be one. I just learned along the way over years, and this is what I have done, and I love my makeup look that it is today. I'm just going to show you guys what I do and how I do it, and honestly, if I can say so myself, it looks good, right? I love my makeup look. I think I look absolutely beautiful and it's not too complicated and too hard. It really is easy that you can follow along, so I'm so excited for you to see that. And this can be done by anybody, whether you have oily skin, combination skin, or dry skin. Use products that work the best for you. I'm just showing you how to use those products on your face. I'm not telling you to buy the products that I buy. Use what you can, use what you have, use what's in your budget, because makeup is expensive and I know that. But whatever you like and whatever works best for you, do it. Okay, girl, let's get started. Okay, we are starting off with a clean, freshly washed face, and then we moisturize, okay? I use the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream Moisturizer. I think it's such a great moisturizer underneath my makeup because it's very hydrating, helps with plumping, and does a great job, I feel like, with giving me a great foundation and base that I need for my makeup. Then I go in with the one product that does a fantastic job at keeping me oil free and really just under control. This is the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm. It also says Yummy Skin, and I get the shade Universal because I want to be able to wear it whether I'm wearing light makeup, no makeup, or whatever the case may be. It is such a great product to help control the oil on your face. I use this on my finger and then apply it to my face instead of using the little spoon it gives you. Nothing wrong with the spoon, but I feel like you use more product than you really need when you do it that way. So I don't mind swiping my finger across it and helping it melt just a little bit and then applying it to my entire face. I apply it not just in the T-zones, every part of my face, because as an oily girl, you just never know where some oil and some shine is gonna pop up, and this just kind of keeps me protected in all ways. Now the key to letting it do its magic and really working is you need to let it sit for just a few minutes. About 5 minutes is what they say. I do it for as long as it takes me to do my eye makeup. I start with my eye makeup. I know some people like to do it at the end. I prefer the beginning because with concealer, trying to do like liner and lashes, I think it's messy and I get like, not stains, but you know, prints on my skin, and I don't want that. So I always do it at the beginning and go from there. By the way, I'm looking at my mirror. My mirror is right here so I can be able to really see what I'm doing and not just look into the camera because I don't want to mess this up because we are going out. I want to have a good day today and I want my makeup to look really good. And it will, and you're going to be able to do this too. Okay, don't ask where the other little cover is for this because I actually don't know. This is the NYX Blade and Shade Brow Pencil. I get it in the shade Espresso. I think it's a beautiful shade for my skin tone and my eyebrows. Of course, we want to brush up the eyebrows, kind of shape them a little bit. I know my eyebrows don't look the absolute best. Like, using my eyebrows also, half my eyebrow is always like, I got threading done maybe 6 years ago, and the second half of my eyebrow just never grew back. So I struggle with having hair at the second half of my eyebrow. So I don't really get my eyebrows waxed or anything often. I couldn't even tell you the last time. It's been maybe like 6 months, but it makes it a little bit, I don't want to say bushy because it's really not that bad because they don't grow fast, but it's not a clean cut. But this, because of how the applicator is, how tiny that is and how precise it is, you can get a really good looking brow even if your brows are the cleanest. So I just go in and I shape them up to the shape that I personally like. I don't do too much of an arch when it comes to this particular step. I kind of let the concealer cleanup do a nice arch for me, unless I'm going in with no concealer. Like if I'm doing a very like 5-minute simple glam and I do my eyebrows, I would just kind of make it into its own thing. But when I know that I'm going to actually put on some concealer to kind of give it some more definition and shape, I don't mind not being insanely precise with it because I know I'm going to be able to clean it up later. Okay, and then when it comes to the first two parts, I just take it sideways to kind of make a few little brow strokes to kind of make the beginning and the front, I should say, look a little bit more natural and filled in versus not having anything there at all. And then a little brush to kind of blend this out just a little. You see? Not bad, not bad. We're gonna clean it up though. I'm not a brush guru. I use what works for me and me only. So I'm not really gonna recommend any brushes or say like, this is this brush 2596. Like, I don't know all that details. But I will say, I like to use for my brows, I'm trying to find the right concealer. Okay, I like to use something that I can really carve out my eyebrow with. So I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Chai because this is the closest one I have that is to my skin tone. And I don't want a highlighted brow. Like, you guys know where there's like a little bit of highlight like right here. I don't want that. I just want like a simple brow, and I want it to kind of blend in a little bit better. So this is what I use to kind of shape my eyebrows with this brush. I have a little bit of product, something you can easily control, and just go in and kind of make the desired shape you want. It won't be perfect every single time. That's fine. We're not makeup artists, right? We're not perfect. But you can do a little something when you have a little bit of product and you have slight control. And it's okay to be a little bit slower with this process. You just kind of want to make sure you get your eyebrow exactly like how you want it and how you want it to be. See that? Are they gonna be perfectly symmetrical? No, but it works and it looks just fine. I take a little bit more of this concealer and go ahead and put it on my eyelids because this is what I use as the primer for my eye makeup look. So I went ahead and put that on there. And then I just use a sponge. I have some new ones in here. I use a little puffy sponge. These I got in a pack from Amazon, and I just kind of blend this out over my eye. And then of course we're gonna clean up everything we did concealer wise when we were trying to shape our brows. A patting motion a little bit closer to the underbrow kind of helps you get more control. And then I use the pointy end up top to kind of really make sure I shape it without messing up the actual brow that we created. Okay, and those are our brows. We are on our way. Now I am a little bit heavy-handed when it comes to putting glue on my lash strips. I use lash strips, they work for me. I've never had issues. I want to try lash clusters again, but I tried them maybe once about 3 years ago. It was so uncomfortable underneath my eye, and I'm pretty sure the reason why is because I had them too close to, I guess, like my eyeball or something. I don't even know the mechanics of that. But right now, I still enjoy my strips. And because I put, like I said, I'm a little heavy-handed when it comes to the glue unintentionally, I just let it sit when I'm doing my actual eyeshadow because this needs time to dry. So I'm using my lash glue, putting on just a little bit layer. I wish I can do it, you know, not as much, but if I do less, it dries too quickly. And if I do it at the end when I'm ready to actually put on the lashes, I have to like sit and wait. So this is something I would just don't mind doing in order to, one, fill time, and two, not have to wait, because patience is not one of the strengths God gave me. I know it, I'm working on it, but it's okay. It is okay. So I'm gonna just let these sit and dry because you don't want them super wet, like fresh out of the tube. You need this to dry a little bit to get tacky so it sticks onto your eye. Now, I do have a little bit left over, and because, like I said, heavy-handed, we don't know how long it's gonna take too, I put the remainder just right there on my wrist. That way, if I need to grab any on the tip of my tweezers, I can, because I'll just take a little bit, dab it to where it needs a little bit more glue if it's on my eye, and go from there. So I save it instead of wasting it yet. I'm not gonna wipe it off because I might need that later. We shall see. Very simple with my actual eyeshadow. Right now, and most times, I use like a neutral brown tan color, and I have been loving, and when I say loving, I really have been loving this palette. This is a Juvia's Place Bronze Deep Dark palette. So good, and it has 2 shades. Depending on how cool tone or how warm you want your contour and bronzer, you have the options here. And this warm color, I think, is such a beautiful shade for my lash. I'm sorry, not my lash, for my eyelid. So I just use this. I'm very simple when it comes to my eyeshadow. I like a more natural, neutral look, and I feel like this particular color is a beautiful color to have when you want a softer look, day or nighttime. Okay, easy peasy, right? Then we're gonna go in and kind of make our eyeliner. I don't use an actual eyeliner pencil. I like something a little bit more softer here as well. So right now I'm using the Tartelette In Bloom Tarte palette with all these colors. I've had this palette for so long, but this dark shade is a beautiful, really dark brown that kind of gives it like almost black but not effect. And I'm using an angled brush in order to put the product on there because an angled brush helps with the wing. I say that, and I'm not the goat at wings. I really don't know how to do them that well, and a lot of time my concealer kind of just really erases it, just if it wants to go a little bit higher, and I'm fine with that. But I still like to make it done or do it in an angled way. And I have to like lift up my eyebrow because they fall a little bit. Just like that. Okay. Period. And because it took us all of like 20 seconds, it's about time to go ahead and grab our lashes. And you see like a little bit in the middle is already kind of gone. We have some of this extra that we can just dab into the middle just to make sure everything is covered and will be fully tacky. That is the reason why I still keep a little bit on my hand, just in case, because you never know with time how long it's going to take you. And then we're going to pop this baby on. I have to like get close to the camera for this because, or not the camera, I gotta get close to the mirror for this. And I still have a little bit more dry time, so you don't want to mess with it too much, but they are on. We will put some mascara to kind of blend our lash with the eyelash a little bit later, only because we don't want that black mascara to kind of mess up what we're going to do after this, okay? And to me, the hardest part is done. Like once you have your eyes together, it's just smooth sailing from there. Eyelashes can take you the longest. You'll get used to it if you aren't used to wearing lashes now. But once you learn how to do it, you might love it. If not, use some mascara by itself. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so I contour first. However, I don't use a super dark contour. I like my face to be a little bit more warmer. When I say warmer, it's just a lighter shade. Like we already talked about the difference, right? So the top one is warmer. The bottom one is a little bit cooler. I'm more of the warmer like type. So I am going to go in with my LYS contour stick, No Limits, in the shade Honest. This is the contour stick that we are using today. I really do love this contour stick because it's very creamy. It goes on like butter, very easy to use, especially if you're not familiar. And if you're not used to doing something like this, it's so simple to use. And we kind of carve out where we want to place our, you know, our contour, where how we want to be chiseled, but not like, once again, I'm softer, so I just want like a soft, warm thing to my face. And I just take a nice little fluffy-ish brush, even though this has product, so it's not as fluffy as it can be. And I just pat, pat, pat away in order to get it. You see it, but it's not insanely dark, and that's kind of how I want it. I don't want a super sculpted face. I just want a warmer, softer looking face. So that's kind of how I get to this point. And by the time we did all of our eye makeup too, it's safe to go ahead and put products on the face because our Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm has had time to kind of activate, if you know what I mean. So it's perfectly fine to do so. Okay, let's get on to, honestly, one of my favorite parts of the whole process, concealer. I'm such a concealer girl. I literally have 3 concealers, all born this way. This is my favorite concealer, but this is also a full coverage type. I do have acne scars, so I do need stuff to kind of cover it up well, and I feel like these do an amazing job. I was literally loyal for years to Tarte. Nothing wrong with Tarte, but once I switched over, it's like I can't switch back. And I really, really, really do love it. Okay, so we already know Chai is for my eyebrows, or when I'm not really doing a full face, I just want a little bit of concealer, I'll use that darker shade. But the one I gravitate to when I'm doing a full face is between the shades Maple and Butterscotch. Now, Maple is the darker one. So I use this here, here, and then a little bit here and a little bit there. See that? And then I'm gonna go in with Butterscotch for a little bit more brightening, and we're gonna put that a little closer. So you see the two shades? You see the difference? Because I wanna brighten the under eye a little bit more than the rest of my face. So I just add a little bit on the inner corners and have that nicer, beautiful, bright under eyes that I love. Got our sponge back. We're gonna start with the areas that don't have that second lighter shade. That way we don't make these areas lighter than they need to be, and go from there. Now, a little product goes a long way, so you have to kind of figure out what works for you as far as how much product you want to be in this area. If you have more things to cover up, maybe you might want to use a little bit more. If not, you don't have to use as much. This bottle, this tube, it might be a little bit expensive, but it will last you so long because you don't need that much when it comes to concealer at the same time. So we are going up, but we're not gonna go all the way up here because there's no need. We're gonna actually blend these two together when it comes to going back in with our contour, but we wanna focus underneath the eye and where we wanna place it. And for me and my face shape, I think this is a beautiful spot to kind of keep it in. And if it's okay if it goes all the way up, no problem. You're just gonna blend that in together. So why waste product in that space if you're gonna blend it out anyways? You should take your time to blend out these products. Don't rush it, because if you don't blend, it will show. It really will show. So take the time to really get in there and really get the look that you are going for. And this is where we are. You see? Now we're gonna go back in with the brush because there's a little bit of product still left in here. If not, just add some more product. And we're trying to go in and blend out any harsh lines that we see. So we see over here is a very harsh spot that we wanna blend out. We don't wanna look crazy. We want everything to be seamless. So we are gonna blend this together so that you have a beautiful look. You see, you can't tell that harsh line anymore? Yeah, girl, that's what we're trying to go for, okay? Forehead, everywhere where we have contour and our concealer together. I also do the two sides of my cheeks. We haven't really touched this area yet, but it'll make sense later. We still want to get rid of any harsh lines and go from there. And the same with the sides of my nose. I just kind of blend it out so the contour is not too harsh on the two sides of my nose. Everything's coming together. I love it. Like at this stage, I'm like, okay, the baddie's being activated. You know what I mean? Okay. I still use foundation. Okay, so depending on your skin, you might not even need foundation in these areas. You might not have anything to cover up. I do, but sometimes I'll just leave it because it really isn't bad. Like the acne scars, you can't really see that well. It looks still pretty good that way, but for the purpose of this video and our full blend that we're doing today, I am going to add a little bit of foundation in those spots. So I use the Ultra Latente Chanel foundation. Mine is in the shade BR122. This is a foundation I absolutely swear by, especially if you are a matte girly that needs stuff to kind of control the oils. This is a good one. Some of the other popular ones, popular brands, they're just not meant for oily skin girls, and that's okay. No matter if you're an oily skin or dry combination girly, use whatever foundation you love and works best for you. I'm not here to sell you on products. I'm just here to kind of show you what I do. So we put it on the bottom section of our face, and we're just blending it out with the opposite side of our sponge. We're gonna go over the areas that don't have any product on it yet, because those are the only products that we need to fill in. I don't think it's necessary to have foundation underneath concealer, underneath contour. This gives it a more natural, beautiful look to me. So I only put it in the areas where it needs to go. And there we have it. Everything is blending out and coming together seamlessly. And she's looking good. She's looking good. I'm really excited about this look. All right, we are done with our liquids, our creams. It's time to now move on to powders. And if you are an oily girl, this is where we shine, okay? Literally the opposite, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, this is the part where it matters. Like, it truly does matter, and you need to put that powder on. Whoever told you no, whoever told you light powder, they lied. They don't have oily skin. They don't know what they're talking about. You need to put that powder on. You hear me? Okay, here we are with the One Size Loose Setting Powder. This is in the shade Sweet Honey. I'm also using my Dion Cosmetics Powder Puff. Look how big it is. She's been used, obviously, she's been used, but she's such a great one. I will say I need to wash her, so I'm not gonna use this side, but this side is the easiest to apply, especially if you're newer to this, but I'm gonna do the opposite side because I can just put my finger in there and kind of have a good control, so I'm perfectly fine with that, but do what makes you feel comfortable. The triangle spot is probably the easiest way to get this done. So I put a little bit in the cap here. Take my powder puff, right? And then we're just gonna pat in here. We have product, but we're not gonna apply this to our face just yet. We're gonna take this and put it on the back of our hand to kind of smoothen that out so it's a little bit more evenly applied, if you will. And once we have that, now we can go in because we know it's not gonna be super harsh when applying this loose powder to our face. We're not baking. It's not necessary to bake, in my opinion. We just need to slap that powder in, press it in, like little pressing motions. We're not sweeping. We're doing little pressing motions in order to get that product inside that cream, inside our skin, and keep us oil free. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm yelling at you guys. I just want you guys to understand the importance of these powders, and these are so necessary and so good. I have been using the One Size powders for a very long time. They never steer me wrong. And I think it looks beautiful. Beautiful and flawless, in all honesty. Perfect, perfect, right? I know we're looking a little ghosty, but that's okay. That is okay. We're gonna add some life back to our face in just a few minutes, but we wanna make sure we get those powders in and do it well. Now, this is really where the game changes for you, okay? Yes, we just went in with a loose powder, but you need a pressed powder. This is what is going to make you poreless, porcelain, beautiful, shine-free, oil-free, everything. It's just gonna give you that filter look every single time. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me one. This is in the shade 330, and this is Toffee, and it's gonna go right on top of where we put our loose powder. Now, I am gonna take a smaller puff for this one because I don't like mixing powders on the same, you know, puff. I like to keep things separate. So that other powder puff, the large one from Dion Cosmetics, I use only for setting powders, and I use these for my loose powders. So we're just gonna take it, and because of how it is and because it's pressed, you can just go right on to your face, right on top of where you put your loose powder. You want this to be a concealer color, but not as bright and white, in my opinion, as the loose setting powder. You want to add a little bit more depth and color back to your face. This is a great way to do that as well. And it's also, once again, keeping you poreless and keeping you shine free. Like, oh, when I started putting this on top of my loose setting powder, I was like, wow, I have been missing out. I have been doing everything wrong, because this is actually what makes the biggest difference in your makeup routine. And right now, it's summertime here in Atlanta. It is hot outside. You need the powders. Like, your face is going to melt if you don't have the proper products in place, literally, in order to be able to stand the test of the humidity and the heat out there. Okay, there she is. There she is. Now, we're gonna go in and add some more color back to our face. We're going back with our Juvia's Place Bronzing Palette in Deep Dark. Getting a fluffy brush because We want to have just a little bit of fun with this. We don't want it to be too perfect. We just kind of want things to blend out. So once again, I'm using that top shade, that warmer shade, in order to add a little bit of color back to the face. You see that? She's so pretty. I really do love this shade. I will say I'm a little surprised that this is deep dark because there are ladies who are darker than me, and I know this won't show up that well to give them that warmth or that, you know, chiseled contour that they might like. So I'm a little surprised that Juvia's Place only has this as the darkest shade, but I will say it does work for me, so I do use. And we are blending out everywhere we have powders. We, once again, don't want any harsh lines anywhere. And we always want to brush also into our temples to kind of make sure it is seamless, it stays seamless, and it's just a beautiful look. You know what I mean? Okay. I do also cover the two sides of my nose. I don't really contour my nose, but I give it a little bit of more color by adding my bronzer. Oh, I have a hair right here, guys. Okay, by adding my bronzer to it to kind of, once again, give my face a little bit more life. All right, now after that, we need to add some powder where we put our foundation. Everywhere that you add something liquid or a cream, you need to go on top of it with a powder. So we are going in with the same Maybelline Fit Me. This is in the shade 360 Mocha. Beautiful color to add on top of my foundation in the areas that need it, just like that. Because we want to lock everything in place, okay? Little in some of the other areas. I just want to stay matte in all of the areas on my face. And this is how we do it. Now we are going to set. I don't like powder melts because my skin is oily. It's naturally going to melt into my face within an hour or two. So I'm okay having a beautiful airbrush type look before my powder start melting into the oils of my face and into together. But you can 100% add the powder melts if you really want that. But for me, I'm going to skip that. I'm just going to go ahead straight to our Until Dawn by One Size setting powder. I love this one, but I will say the Ben Nye setting spray is my personal favorite. I'm just out of that. So we're going to use this one at this time. Don't be afraid of that product. Do not be afraid of that product, okay? I did that now because the other parts I need it to dry, if you will, before I mess up my makeup, and you have to close your eyes to do that. So I do that before I put on my mascara, under eyeliner, and lips, okay? So let's go ahead and do our under eyes first. I love a brown underneath my eye. Like once I got into brown liners, I said bye to the black liners. This is from ColourPop. This is in the shade Sunny Veil. It is a matte color that they have. It's kind of angled to what my actual, like how I use it, like, you know, just doing like that. So it's kind of angled like that already with that sharp piece to it. But this is such a beautiful brown for your waterline that I highly recommend. I'm not trying to sell you on products, but if you want a really good, affordable, creamy brown under eyeliner, boom, right there for you. Look at that. See the difference? The brown is just so pretty. It's just so good. It's so good. Ah, she eats every single time. Every single time. I do not do the mascara on my bottom lashes. It just always looks a mess to me, but I will add some to my top lashes. This is the Last Extension by L'Oreal. Any mascara will do. We just really want to add some mascara to kind of blend our lashes into the fake lashes that we have when we're using strips. You just don't want that gap in between, and this is the best way to eliminate that gap, because who's perfect at putting on lashes? Like, seriously, who is perfect at doing it? Not me. Now this is my favorite part. Like, my actual favorite part, concealer is number 2, but a nasty lip combo, hello? We are using Morphe's Trendsetter Lip Liner. Whenever I got into this, I've been obsessed. Like, I like this better than MAC Chestnut. I don't know why. Slightly different color, but I like this a lot. And I just think it goes really well with the lip products that I have. So I like to overline my lips just a little bit because I have big lips and I want to make sure it doesn't look like it's right below. If I do it right at my lips, it looks like it's right below my actual top of my lip. So I have to overline my lips just a little bit in order for it to look like my whole lip is there with the lip liner and the lip product. So that's what we're gonna do. See that? Believe it or not, my lips are, it's like right above, but it works. All right, I'm playing around with it. All right, bottom side. I want to take a moment to kind of mush it up a little bit. You don't want it to be super harsh. You want to be blended just a little. So we're gonna play around until we get that. Okay? So it's not too harsh. Today, because it's daytime, I'm like Praline, the NYX Butter Gloss. The shade is Praline, by the way. I think it's such a beautiful color to wear out throughout the day. It's like such a cutesy pink, but still a little nudie. And it just does it. Those are the lips. That is the lip combo. Cute. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I hope you guys enjoy the makeup look. Tag me if you are going to recreate any kind of look like this. I would love to see it here, of course, but on Instagram. Send me a message on Instagram. Tag me in your makeup looks because I really do want to see how it turned out if you use this method. I forgot to also mention, I'm not a blush girl. I think my makeup look looks better without blush, but feel free to incorporate the blush if you do want that blush beauty look. I'm all for it. I just think personally I look better without blush. So that's why I didn't incorporate that. I forgot to tell you guys that earlier, but I do want to see your makeup looks. Tag me, tag me, tag me. I can't wait to see it. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you were able to get some information from there and also feel like you can do it because honestly, it's not too hard to do. Looking at makeup artists, like pro makeup artists, it's like the goal and the dream, but it's really hard to replicate what they do because they are the pros at this. So we're on the same level. We're learning together. We're growing together. So I feel like this will be a little bit easier to follow, but I hope you have some confidence in your makeup look and it's going to be beautiful. It might take a few tries to get it how you like, and that's perfectly fine. It's a process. It really is a process, not an overnight success. So I'm excited for you and I'm rooting for you and I can't wait to see your looks. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I post videos on my page every single week. So I will see you next week. Bye.